Hola. ¿Cómo está? ¿Todo bien? Bueno. Okay. First of all, thanks for joining in. Thanks a lot for joining my stream. I appreciate that. I'm gonna hand out a few gift subs. How about that? Some of you that have been here for a long time, that have keep coming back. I'm gonna gift some subscriptions here. This is courtesy of Numenta. I'm gonna send them an expense report for this. There we go. This is for you, Deftware, and you totally deserve this, Donald. I've already gifted you one. That's right. BitKing. Looks like you already have one too. Yeah, you already got your brains. Everybody's got a brain by them. So if you stick around long enough and I notice you keep coming back, I will gift out subscriptions. So thanks for joining in. And today's winner at chess. Excellent. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Let's see here. All right. Well, first off, where we were at in the agenda here. We already did that this morning. I took a break. We did the cyclic encoder. I put off the size issue because it was sort of a trivial task that I just didn't want to do. So this auto size thing is now an issue in Trello. And you can see that here on our Trello page. It's up for grabs if anybody wants to work on that. You have an audit on the 31st. Okay, let me look into that while we're... That's for the... BitKing's talking about events. I have an events page on my Twitch stream. And on the 31st, I was planning on this conversation about the Hotfield Networks bolts and machines. That was Friday. Maybe you wouldn't mind if we just push that to Monday. That'll give me the extra time. Monday, if that's okay with you. I'd rather push it away than forward because I'm a lazy person. I am a lazy person. All right, cool. Let's do that. Let's move it to... I'm just coordinating with Mark here because I would love to have him in on the chat. You could even join the Discord voice chat if you wanted for that. Here's this chat. So I might just open it up if we want to have a conversation. We're going to move that from Friday to June 3rd. Monday, June 3rd. Just make sure that that gets updated. It's in the same spot in the queue, but yeah, Monday, June 3rd. Thanks for letting me know, Mark. All right, so I think this is an old PR. I think I looked at this and didn't merge it. I think that's it. But I basically stole it. No Discord until June 21st. Okay, we'll try it. We'll see. Excuse me. We'll try without, and hopefully I'll ask you questions offline while I am going through the material. I'll definitely be able to spend Tuesday going through some of that material to prep for it. All right, back to the task at hand, which was getting this encoder working, a version of it working here in building HTML systems. Quick refresh for anybody. Oof. Close tabs to the right. Building HTML systems. I should really have a button for this. BHTMS, does that work? Yeah, there we go. And it's not every Thursday. Damn it. You write that down. All these Twitch things I have to do. I never want to do these on camera. Fix BHTMS command. All right. Put that right in front of me here. Okay, progress. We're shooting for progress now. We want to get towards this. I want to get rid of these sliders here and these sliders here. Well, actually, I will probably, let's assume W and N still is going to come from global state for now. For now. Because I can affect those as I scroll. Here's the thing. What I want to do is, I want to make sure if I do use the global state that as I scroll to this diagram, when it comes into view, we set it to a certain value for this diagram. But I could do that. I could do that in other ways. It's a page variable, so I could do it from the page as we scroll. Okay, so maybe it's probably better that it's all a page variable. When I say page, I'm talking about sort of the scope of, oh man, I'm still figuring out this IDE. Page being the encoding numbers page, which is a React component, and here is our current state. So these are the values that might change at any point in the page, like that the user could change by fiddling with something, or even one of the diagrams could update based on a user interaction that the diagram is handling. So we've got some D3 components that are React components, like the simple scalar encoder that has a value that a local D3 event listener might call update with a new value. That's sort of the architecture, the UI architecture we're going with here. Would you prefer that to the picture-in-picture on? Okay, so yeah, let's assume W and N come in with it, and blue and these two values. We also said we're going to. How did we leave that now? Now I can't even remember. That was cyclic. No. Simple overlap diagram. We're passing in value A and B, and we're passing in, I think, specific values, not globals. No, they are globals. Yeah, they were globals that we were going to allow the diagram to change, but needed to be updated in the page. That was why I wanted to do it that way. Yeah. So it's going to handle setting these values itself, but it's going to bubble out the values so that the page can update. Yeah, I don't want to worry about dragging yet. The dragging, all that's going to take is creating a component. Oh, whoa, hold on. If I'm going to do a number drag, a number scrubber React component, I'm not going to use D3. But if I'm going to implement this drag like I want to do here, which is grab this number and pull it this way or that way, I think I should use D3 because these are all D3 elements. It's all within the D3 diagram. But then, on that update, I'll call update value, so that the outer page can update like this and that. So what I need is to basically draw the Bezier curve, put the label in the right place, and then worry about the grabbing, dragging. So let's just get them drawn first. And I have code to do this already. I have code that does it. Maybe not the best code, but again, we're going to go back to this isn't the fancy cyclic encoder. This is continuous overlap. So I have a special custom component for this. I don't think it uses the fancy anything. but it does have, I didn't use the word Bezier, but it's there in there. See, I know what the shape looks like. Here it is. This is it. These are the Bezier curves. Curving. So here's the bracket. Okay, so I've got a so this might be good. This looks pretty modular. I've got something called draw bracket, and it has a value and an I value. Which, the I probably is the index of the cell. Maybe. Let's see. If I'm going to draw the bracket, maybe that's, I don't know what I is. Hold on, let's see how we do it. Draw brackets, and it's calling draw bracket twice. One for the blue value, one for the yellow value. And there's a secret property. Oh, no, it's just an index for which one it is. So a value and then basically an index. Dang. So VS Code users, what is the keyboard shortcut command to go back to where I just was? So if I navigate like this, if I navigate like control click to this SVG, yeah, so I just moved from one line of code to another. What's the keyboard shortcut to go back where I just was? Like IntelliJ, I think it's command back or command option back or something like that. But when I do that, I switch tabs on this one, and it's just a convenience I'm looking for. Okay, so anyway, draw bracket, call it in just this one spot, one for each value, and assume those are just the float numbers, and then the I and the 1 and the 2, I don't even know what this is going to be for, just to loop over them. What is this I? So it actually uses it to create bracket groups. We need to look at the code. Oh, so here we go. So we have I think this is the bracket stuff, right? So yeah, so this is the value 1. We're going to need to put this in our markup, something like this anyway. So let's go ahead and get it. Got it. Let's get it and put it in here. All right, so we have output cells, and this, what is this? Range, hidden, circle, left, right. Nope, I don't need that. That was for when we had the Bezier curves for the mouse over to show the range of where the current input is. We're not going to use that. This is the one we're going to use. So what this is going to be is 2 paths, one for, let me get to my thing here. There's 2 paths. Why doesn't this sometimes, there we go. We're going to have a value like 1.7 right there. And we're going to have 2 paths, one like this, and one like this. So this is path 1, that's path 2. So we need a point here, a point here to draw these Bezier curves. And basically the points in between that will be, pulling the lines to make the curves, but we don't have to worry about that. We'll get to that when we get to that. There. Okay. So back to the code. So this is the value 1, and we're going to call this A, just to be consistent. Let's call it value A range, try and be consistent. Value B range. It's initially going to be hidden, I don't know why. So this path, these 2 paths are for the 2 lines. This left path is the left line, and the right path is the right line, like we showed here. The 1 is the left path, 2 is the right, for each one. So there'll be 2, one for A, one for B. This may seem like I'm going really slow and deliberate, and I am. Because when I rush, I get careless. So, okay, so I'm going to close this because I've gotten the bit that I need out. I've put it in place here. We're not going to see it because it's hidden. And I don't think we really need it to be hidden. Let's take this off. I don't think we need it to be hidden. Yeah, being OCD is good for programming. When I am much less OCD now than I used to be. When I was because I don't write production code anymore. So that I tended to slack off a bit when I stopped writing production code. But when I was writing production code, you really have to be really anal about things, which makes it awkward because sometimes people don't want to be anal, and you're like, you have to be anal. Like, it does matter. Okay, back to scalar overlap. That's where I'm at. Okay, so I know these are called value A, class value A, and class value B. So that's going to be easy enough. So in the, why did I close the thing? Recent. Shouldn't it be here? I want to open the one that was continuous overlap. There it is. Okay, this is the other thing I want to grab. I'm just going to grab this whole function because it seems pretty well encapsulated, and we'll find out how broken it is. So it's just this function. I'll even pull this one too. No, let's just do one. Let's do one at a time. There's no point in. So I'm going to grab this whole function, and we're going to paste it like it's like it were a method on the class. Let's see. We'll put it before render. I don't know. Draw brackets. This is going to break because it's not formatted properly, but draw a bracket. Draw one bracket is what we're doing here. Let's bump it out. Okay, so indentation. Okay, sorry, it's just another chat. There's something wrong with my indentation here. I'm trying to figure out. So this all needs to come back, and this one now it all needs to come up one. Was that it? That was it. Okay, I'm gonna fix this because this drives me crazy. If anybody, I went through this phase of doing this, of saying let comma. Don't do that. It's not worth it. Just do one on each line, or I regret doing that. Yeah, I know. I wanted to auto format it. How do I auto format it? I guess I have to look that up. VS Code, JavaScript, auto format. The thing I don't like about auto format is I'm not going to do this right now. I almost shaved the act just there. I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, so is this SVG valid? Probably not. Okay, I'll try. Command-Shift-P, ES for ECMAScript, I guess. So I might not have a plugin installed that I need to have. ECMA, yeah. I probably need to install a plugin I don't have. Anyway. I have a feeling this is, I think Falco would hate this song. Okay, let me get back to what I was doing. I'm getting myself, here we go. Big fat function called draw bracket, and I want to see how do I get my SVG? So this one's a link to the SVG. Here's the SVG ref that I want. So that's the SVG ref. And what is it going to do with the SVG? I can just say this.svg ref. Okay. But what is it going to do with it? I think all it does is select out of it. So that's, I think I'm doing this wrong. And what I want to be doing here, yeah, I want the D3 root, that's right. That's in the orient D3, right? Or where did I do that? It's in mount. Here it is, this.root. I'm gonna rename this. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'll just leave it. Okay. But yeah, that's the root that I want. So this whole bracket group thing, let's split this up into, let's split it up and down. Well, with this one, we're gonna go look at the markup that we want. So the bracket group, it was calling for val. That's what this used to be. It's selecting the specific G. So this is going to be a G. So bracket group is the whole G for either A or B. And this is silly. Let's do this in an easier way. Let's just say value and then name. And then, so this is going to be fine. Does it select? I forget how D3 selects. D3JS selection. It is select, okay. So I should know by now, but so it's gonna be dot name, basically, so I could do like this. Dot name, that's the bracket group. I got into this habit when I first started using jQuery of doing this $bang thing. I'm just going to call this G because that should be self-evident. The group, if in this function, if I have a G and only one G, it's the group that I'm adding everything to. So my left path, that looks fine. You think that the $sign is fine if it's to be linking to I always assumed it was a jQuery object wrapping something whenever I did it. At least that's what everyone was doing at the time. Now it could mean so many different things. I'm gonna change it to left. Yeah, I like left path. That's left path because this is actually going to be a path object. And right path, and then the label. Okay, and this is not, this is this.root. Okay. Yeah, I can refactor later, sure. Okay, so I've got my connections to the DOM in place. I'm gonna see, I wanna look through this and see if it all makes sense with a new diagram that I have. So we've got an encoder already. So this is going to be, let me set this as an encoder. But should I make all this const, all of these constants? It's not going to change, right? They're not going to change. This will. No, hold on. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to let it be. Let it be. Okay, so the encoder, we can take any value and encode it, and that will give us an index. Hopefully, this should all work. So there's still, the encoders, as long as the encoder has a scale and a reverse scale, which it still should have. Here I go with the let again, the let commas. One of those things. I wish I'd known, tell myself to do that differently. Okay. I don't think this is going out for anything else. This might just work. Oh, I've got this precision round, so I have a helper for that. There's, where am I pulling that in? One of these is pulling it in. All right, yeah, that. I think I have it. I already have it. Precision round. So all I gotta do is take the utils off, and that should work. Handy. Okay, left line data. right line data. Here's another stupid let, comma, right x, left x, intermediary points for curving. This value 10 is sort of, I know it seems like a magic number, but it's very specific to this one place. It's nowhere else, so I'm just going to leave it. And it's just like how extreme is the Bezier part of the curve. Left path, right path, G, and then we make it visible. Or maybe we don't even have to make it visible because I took that off. Let's see what happens. I'm not calling this yet though, so okay, let's just make sure that everything compiles and runs, because I haven't even looked at the site yet for a while. And I've changed a ton of stuff. So first of all, I really need to move this up so that I can do some things. So let's move this up. Close, close, close. Scalar overlap diagram. I currently have output cells top margin 120. Let's make that more like 20. There we go. Maybe even less than that, maybe even 0. That's fine with me, because remember, we're not going to have the border around it. Slow day today, viewers wise. So now I just need to call it in render output cells. Okay, after I have, after I've got all the rectangles and all that stuff done, I can just call this dot draw bracket this dot value A, right? Value B. All right, let's see what happens. Something broke. Gutter is not defined. That's probably fixable pretty easily. That's 166. We have an undefined gutter. So if we look back, I think it's the X gutter. So that's going to be that's probably side gutter. So I think I'm just going to use side gutter for that. Side gutter. What else is going to be undefined? Rect width. That's going to be this dot diagram width. I don't think that's true, actually. That's not true. That's not true. That's plus. No, yeah, that's not true. How big are my rectangles? Cell width. I think it's probably this dot cell width, which is right here. I'm not computing that in draw bracket. It doesn't matter. I'll just compute it again. It's not a big deal. It's not that costly of a function. So I'll just calculate it up here, cell width, and we'll use it here. Diagram width. Now that I know what to do with. What line was that? 150. This dot N. Okay, so here's where we do this. That's what I want to do. Rect height, which is cell height. cell height is 30. Okay, that's pulling this up here. Where was cell height? This was rect height 109, rect height 109, 169. Cell height. All right, we're getting close. Getting close. Output range scale is not defined. 177. Output range scale. Output range scale. So we're sending it left value. Oh, we're finding the max from the left x. So this is just, we're translating an x to a pixel, an x value to a pixel, and we have its value to scale, right? Yeah, value to screen. This is that's the linear interpolation that we need to replace this with. Value to screen, value to screen. Okay. Okay, UI range is not defined. So I do believe, I don't know what that is. All right, let's go figure out what that was. I got to open up the old one. Continuous overlap, and it was UI range. UI range. Oh, so it's just like a side gutter with minus gutter. Oh, it's the whole range of the size where it should start, which is side gutter 2, diagram with minus side gutter. That's silly, but okay. All right. I wanted to get it to work right now. Okay, so this isn't going to be, this is going to be side gutter. Diagram width minus side gutter. That's the UI range. Oh, VS Code live share. Am I still sharing? Cool. You're not there anymore though. Nobody's connected. I can get the thing again in case you want it. So I can share the running web app too. How is that possible? That's amazing. That is amazing. Okay, let's see what's broken now. Hey, nothing's broken. So let's see where we are. Ooh, we got some action. I mean, there's some action. It's not right, but it's something. Invalid. Oh, I know what that is. I bet that happens all the time. This invalid DOM property class. Did you mean class name? Because that's happened to me so many times. So many times. Class name. And that is probably what screwed everything up. Ding. Or not. Oh, come on. I was hoping that would work. Okay, so let's bounce in here and see what it's probably one of our scales is wrong. So obviously the center is right. The center bit's right. As if you remember from my drawing, this is what we're going for. This is what we're going for, the Bezier curve. Like, so I've got a left path and a right path. The center is right, but I can't even tell where these are going. One's going over here. Both of these are going over here. So where we want to stop and inspect is right around, and obviously there's a draw bracket. So let's put a debugger right here and just step through it. Let's start right here. The label is good. I want to see the line data. We're going to stop there. Okay. So we're pushing, the first point is 210 and 66, 210x. And how did we get that? The side gutter plus index times cell width. Yeah, okay, so that's where the first line starts. And it was right. The second one was right. Let's No, it was wrong. Is this value? Yeah, value 5, name value B. There's something wrong with this. It shouldn't be. Well, let's see. Let's just step through. Let's just step through. See what happens here. So we're getting our 2 lines. We're going to have 3 points in this line. So we're just passing in, pushing 3 points. Here's the first one. That's the left side on both of them. And then we push these intermediary points. Left line. These are the curving points. Left line, right line, right line. And then this should be left X. Ooh. Okay, so there's a problem. Left X. It must be the scale. Val to screen. I'm sending it 43. Okay, something's wrong right here. So I'm sending 33. Why is the value ever 33? How did we get left value? Left value. What is this scale? What am I doing here? Encoder. Let's left path. So I'm calling reverse scale. Sorry, I'm confused about what am I doing here? Index is 40. I'm trying to take a scalar value and get basically the bucket size, or so that I can draw to like the index of the beginning and the end of the bucket, and then translate them to pixels instead of indices. I'm almost there. But I'm just trying to get my head exactly around what each one of these is doing. Let me start the debugger earlier and step through it more carefully. Let's start it right here. Let's start it all the way up at the top. All right, F8. That's not. Oh, that wasn't the right button. It was actually F10. F10. Or not. What is going on? Okay. Value top scale margin. Cell width 5. There's our encoder. Those are DOM elements. Data arrays for the lines. The index. The index is 40. Which, if we look here, this is value for 4. This should be right here. I'm not sure that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think that's right. Yeah, this is wrong, I think. Oh no, I'm flooring it. If I encode the value for the value 4, it'll be 40. Because it's 100, yeah, it's 100 bits in the thing. So that makes sense, I guess. W is 14. So I'm going to calling on the encoder the reverse scale, so I get the left index, which it says is 3.3. The left value is 33. The right value is 4.69, or the right index. The right value is 46.9. These don't sound unreasonable. The UI scale is 10 to 490, which makes sense. CX, center X, and center Y. That's where I'm going to put the label. The label is going to be a precision round of the value 4. And that goes right at CX and CY. So that's the center point. Okay, CX and CY is the center of, so this point right here is CX, CY. That point. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm syncing code to theory. All right, so that's CX, CY, and that's the first. There's nothing else in these arrays. We're gonna start at this point. This is the first point for both of the line datas. Boom, boom, and that's 210.66, which seems pretty close to being where it should be. 210.66, yeah. So now we have to find left x and then right x based off of that. And so what I've got wrong here is, how am I getting this left value? Yeah, those are right. So the center value is, no, this is not right. Value is 4. The encoder min and max is 0 and 10. So the left value, oh, I see what I'm doing. This is the left value. I don't know what I'm doing here. It seems like I should be passing this left index. If I said, how do I'm going to execute this in the console. Can I do that? I swear I should be able to do that. I want to run in console, save as emoji. Where did run in console go? It's frustrating. How do I get my console? There it is. There it is. Okay, got it. So this .val to screen left index. This .val to screen left value. Okay, so it's the left index I think I want to be sending into this. No, I know how to add as a watch. My watches, I don't use watches very often unless I'm really into a problem and I cannot figure it out. Just because I always forget that they're there and I don't look at them. And I'll come back and there's like a bunch of them that aren't right anymore. So it seems like, I'm not sure why I was doing it this other way. So that's interesting. The other way may have just been overcomplicated. So let's just try it and try it the way I think it should work, and we'll just see if it works. I don't know. I think this left index should be what I'm passing here, and right index should be what goes in here. I'm not certain. But I guess we'll see. Yeah, that's it. So I had totally overcomplicated something in the last code. So I have stuff in here I never even needed to do. And this really is not the index, is it? It is the value. Left value, right value. Okay. Okay, so we've got two lines here that are paths, and if you look at the SVG, we should be able to see this too. It's not there yet, and let me turn the debugger off. There we go. Yeah, there's no reason to hide it and then show it, so we're just not even going to bother. So there's one path, there's another, right? Left path, right path. So D3 creates this, all it's doing essentially is creating DOM. DOM elements that are SVG. And so it created that little Bezier path for us on both sides for both of them. Excellent. Okay, so we're making progress. Now we either need to, I definitely want to be able to, first of all, grab this and pull it. And there's a nice D3 grab drag thing that I've used in the past that has worked pretty well. When we grab this, the tricky bit is we're going to have to do an interpolation as we're pulling it to know how far we need to move. I wonder, well, let's just see. Let's just get into it and we'll see. D3 JS drag, circle dragon. So it's pretty easy to do this. So yeah, so you select your elements basically and call drag on it. Yeah. And then set up your handlers like this. So if I have a D3 selection, I'm just going to call that on it. Try and see if we can figure out how to do this. Okay, so after we draw the bracket, both brackets. Okay, let's make a function called draw brackets like we did last time. Not like that. Draw brackets. And I'm going to put the D3 stuff here. Let's just comment it out for right now. I'm going to pull this out, put it first to draw brackets. This dot. Do I need to say this? I probably do. All right, and now I just want to get the, I want to grab those labels, which is this text. So I could select, I could just get this group. I already have the group. This may be something I want to do. I could just look for any text in the SVG, honestly, because it's the only text that I'm probably going to have in this diagram. So I could do it like that. Let's think about that. That might work. That might be easy enough. So we draw the bracket for one and then the other. And then we say value labels. We'll say this dot root select text. And then, you know, we don't even need to do this. We can just do this. There we go. So there, so we're basically calling for the text. Here's the drag. And this is saying raise. I think we only need one of these. Let's see what that is. See if this works. Dragging from D3 and then calling on update will update the props and re-render it. That may be an issue. I think it worked before. Let's see. But you're right, it might be an issue. Not seeing anything. Oh, undefined, undefined, undefined. Huh, so I got on drag dragged, I just don't have an event. That's interesting. Where is this? This should be in dispatch on. Wonder why there's no event or no D. There's probably I could probably get to the D3 event.x though. No. That doesn't make sense. Is that gonna fire off? The debugger didn't see that, but it console logged. What's up with that? That's weird. Okay, so maybe that's all that matters, honestly. Hold on. If we take this out, oh, it's still doing that. I'm not dragging anymore. That's what I want though, that's perfect. So I just have to keep track of I need to translate that X value to a new value, which I think I have a scale to do. So let's try something. That X value, and we're gonna have to sort of translate backwards in the way we did in the, excuse me, when we were drawing the bracket. We're gonna have to go backwards. Remember how we went to this UI range? I think this maybe, I don't know, I can't put that there. I'll just leave it. So what I want is a new left value, and then I can call. This is not going to work. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do is update value A or B. So I just have to translate the X value into the scale of the value min and max. So I need to get the UI range, where the X is in it. I think this X value should be the, hold on. I want to see something. Where's 0? 0's right here. Okay, so this is, so all I need to do is add the side gutter and do a linear interpolation to see what value that goes to. So that's what I need to do. So I want to say this dot out it's two, no. Val to screen inverse. Pretty sure that's how you do it. Val to screen inverse, and it's going to be something to something. It's going to be, so we're going from, no. This already exists. So yeah, d3 dot event dot x. Because this is already defined, I think. Let's see what we get here. This is going to be the new value. Okay, let's see if this works. Is it just like the value line hover? I guess. No. Because I have to take. Because I'm going from pixel, not value, I think. I don't remember. Maybe it is. Inverse of undefined. What? I thought we had a val to screen. This dot val to screen. This dot. Whoops. How is there no? Oh, this. This is not this. We'll just get this. Screen val to. Should I go look at the value line hover? Is it? Am I just rewriting the wheel here? Yeah, I'll need to decide which value I grabbed and then update just that one. So there's, and in this case, I can get it based on the, well, shoot, I mean, if I don't have access to the event, so I can't get a target of the event. I don't know why there's no event being given here. It usually is. And I don't think I need start or end. So let's just simplify this a bit. On drag. Can you get the active element being dragged and then check the name attribute on it? Yeah, I could do that. I think. I don't know. Well, the thing is, I don't seem to have access. Like this D has nothing. It's undefined. And I don't know why. I'll just, let me try and find the value first. I'm trying to understand why the value is not working. There we go. Let's see this again. Inverse is not a function. That's not true, is it? What was the, how do you do it then? Invert? Invert? Something like that. I know this works. There we go, okay. Okay, so at 0, yes, this is working. Okay, so the value is going all the way up to 10. Yes, okay, that's exactly what I want. Okay, so that's the new value. And so now I just need to decide which of the values is being dragged. No, it wasn't giving me an event even when I had drag start defined. So let's debug in here. I don't need to show this anymore. First of all, before we debug, and let's hard code it to just change value A. In which case we just set state, I think. No. All right, so I'm gonna have to let me equal this at this point. I've got two places where I need me in here, or this in here. So now I'll need me dot set state. What did we call it? Value A. New value. So it should do it. That should trigger it to update. Does drag fire even if you don't click down on the label? I hope not. No. Oh, no. You mean like here? No, you have to click on the label, I actually chose the text elements. That's what I put the listener on, was these text. This right here, whatever it is. This text is what the listener is on. So whatever, just that little bit there. So if I grab that and move it, what's happening? It didn't work. Drag. It's not dragging. The probably component update isn't doing anything. No, it is. Oh, you fixed this, David, did you? That was you, wasn't it? So let's see if this is firing. When I drag. It is. The new value is still 4. So where did this come from? Where did scheduler? I probably can't get back all the way. Let's see. Go away. Go away. Go away. So, where was I? So it looks like value's not being updated, but I did set state. Let me go back here. Make sure that this is being called. Yeah, the drag. So there's a drag problem there because the debugger kicked in while I was in the middle of a drag, so it thinks I'm still dragging. This dot set state. Current value A is 4.26. Oh, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, I do. You're right. That's it. I don't want to set state. I forget. I'm not managing this state. So instead of set state, we call on update. And we'll send it the new value. Thanks, David. I think that's right. Okay, on update's not a function. I don't think I put it in because I wasn't expecting to do this. So let's go back, close this old stuff, coding numbers, all the way down here. Yeah, I do. So I have an on update, and it's going to set state with the value. Scalar overlap diagram. There's no me on update. What am I missing here? Me on update is not a function. It would be me dot props, right? Me dot props dot on update. Darn it. Okay, that's not a good error. That's not the error I was hoping to get. Okay, so we're deep in D3 now, getting these errors, which means their data. Well, before we get that, let's look at the errors that came before it. Invalid prop value of type object supplied to simple scalar code expected number. Prop value. Okay. So maybe it's because of this NaN. So there's an NaN coming from somewhere. I could take that off. I don't know why that's still there. So it's got to be coming from the on update. And this handler, where's the handler? Value A. Update. So value A is currently 4, and I'm calling set state on it with a value A of 4.24. Caltran. No, I'm in Watsonville now. Did you hear a train? I didn't hear it. I'm not sure why this is not working now. Refresh. You think you fixed it? Okay, hold on. I can't believe you can go in and change the code. Okay. Ah, there. It's working. Okay, let me turn this console off and see if it's faster. It is. It's a lot faster. Oh, sweet. So this is actually I think this is re-rendering the D3 at every step, but it's keeping hold on that drag. Okay, I think this is cool. I like this more. You see how the Bezier curves work at the edges? Isn't that sweet? I love that. It's weird. They're a little bit off, aren't they? Okay, so now we have to. I'll worry about the rounding. There's a slight lag. Yeah, I don't mind. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. All right, so now we have to decide which value we're touching, and so we know which value to update. And let me format this a little better. Yeah, we can tweak it later, but we do definitely need to decide which value we're going to be updating, because right now I would drag 5 and why it doesn't. Nothing works at all. That's odd. I thought that it would drag the other one. Did I hand code something here? Select all. That's what I forgot. Select all. Okay, so now I'll drag 5 and 4 will move instead. I'll drag 5 and 4 will move instead. So I just have to decide now, which are we going to do? In right here, yeah. Oh, in the on update? No, I need to decide here what this new value, I need to do that in draw brackets before I call on update, because that's where it's the only place I have access to. Well, I don't even have access to the event. That's what bothers me. Why don't I have access to the event? There's no D. There's no arguments, I guess. There's nothing local. New value D, this. Oh, this. It's this. It's this. Easy. Okay. Perfect. That's easy. This. What do we got here? It's a text thing, so we can say this dot class name. Or whatever I did. What did I call it? How did I define it? It's, well, easy enough. I could just say ID equals class name equals value. Just say A. I don't know. It doesn't matter, right? Just something that I can identify it with. Class name equals B. Okay, I want to try and share my server. I can try, sure. So share terminal, share server, expose a local TCP port. I'll try. Enter the TCP port or server URL to share with guests. What's a good just TCP port? I don't know. What is the TCP port range? Does 8888 work? So I can just put in exactly where I'm must be a TCP port or server URL. So I'd have to put HTTP. All right. Shared port 3000. So now you can run. You see whatever I would see here. You can run the same thing. Does that mean, well, you just are running a client against my server, right? Okay, cool. So it worked. Nice. That is really cool. That's crazy cool. I can't believe it. Man, the VS Code team is killing it. They've got all these Twitch people writing extensions for it. Like Clark.io, you go to his channel, Clark.io. He works on some of these extensions. It's really cool. It is really cool. Okay. Okay, I want to finish. Let's get this identified, what this thing is, based on the class. So I think that is easy enough. Value A, value B. Okay, works for me. I'm not coding fast enough for David. I'm a little slow today. So up here in the drag, this is where we're going to select. We know we can get the new value, and so new key. And so we'll set it to value A at first. Hold on. Can I do this? Yeah, I think we can, depending exactly on what this is right here, when we do drag it. This did not get me. Yeah, that would work, right? This dot class name anim value. I've had to do this before. That class name dot base val or anim val. I don't know why. I've had to do that before. So let's just make the key this dot class name dot. Wouldn't this work? I think this is all we need to do. Let's see. Okay. Check. Oh, shit. Cannot read property base valve undefined. So dot class name wasn't really true. I just have to figure out the exact right magical thing to do to get the class off of that thing. So it doesn't have a. So this class name didn't work. The lowercase class name. Sorry, I'm totally dense, but we'll get it. We'll get it. I didn't think this was gonna work. All right, this. Can I just put this? Like that. That's what I should do. ID? I want to use ID. No, put it back to class. It was easy to just say attribute class. That's not the right thing because it's not really an ID for the value. It's for the value label. And that just adds more cruft. So just make it the class and I can fix it easily now that I realize what the secret was. It's just, this should work on anything. Okay, I want to see this work now. Get attribute is not a function. It was just there. It was just there. Like I was just debugging it and I just saw this work. Look, this dot get attribute is a function. Step over it, fail. What the heck? So, okay, I'll use the ID. Ugh, how annoying. I don't know why it would do that. I'm gonna change it to value A label though. Label A. Label A. That at least makes me feel a little bit better. Label A, label B. And that's what we're gonna use. I should be able to just say ID. Nope. ID doesn't work. Yeah, but look at this. It's this dot ID. It shows it right here. ID. So get attribute or dot ID should work. But I have dragged it. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be that. The drag has started. I have reference to the target of the drag. It has an ID on it. I can see it here. I can see it over there. Why can't it? Why can't I get it? Why does it think it's empty? That doesn't make any sense. Is the same thing happening with you? Like maybe this is a D3 thing, but it shouldn't be. I want to see this not working. Yeah, it's not working, obviously. Let me go back to the drag example I grabbed. Let's select. D3 select this. Let's try this. Maybe this is what I should do. D3 select this. Since it wants me to use D3. Let's see. Get attribute is not a function. Come on. Come on. Come on. This should give me, oh, D3 is not defined. I don't get why my IDE environment is not the same environment as what actually gets run on the screen, because D3 is definitely defined, and if I'm not debugging, it does not run into that issue. So strange. Okay, what are you gonna try? Hey Falco. I was making pretty good progress, and I hit a little roadblock here, and I don't know why. David is working on something. So we're drawing these brackets while you're watching. We're just making these Bezier curves. We've got those working. And now we're trying to, I want to be able to click on one of these numbers and drag it over and watch it move. And we're almost there, really close, honestly, really close. I think the problem we're having is maybe something to do with, I don't know, it's however, oh, so you're getting, so now you have this is this, so you don't need the me in that on drag, right? That's why you bound it like that. See if that works. See if it did anything. Now he's debugging too. Select all text. Oh, it's this dot on drag. All right. Sorry, I don't want to get into your code. Go ahead. Okay, David's helping me out. I'm gonna try not to touch it while he's debugging it. We're really close to I think this working, so. Yeah, we're gonna. The only problem is that we're messing with right now is just trying to decide which value is being updated on the drag, which just means getting to the target of the event and identifying it, which should be easy. So this seems like silly. It's silly that we have to do this. Because if the event was available, you could just go to current target, or get the target through the event. I know it's accessible if the event were there. Yeah, this IDE, I set it to save on constantly, essentially. Every time it loses focus, it saves. Because I feel like you should save after every keystroke. That's why you have undo. Like Google Docs style, it's always saved. If you typed it, it's saved. That's the type of IDE I want to work in. We're close to being to a point where we can look, Ma, no hands coding. We're close to a point where I think we'll be able to push. Like, we're real close. This is David moving through all my code here. The last little bit here is simple. It's just cleaning up, trying to figure out exactly where we need to get this reference we need to get. So we're actually so as the user clicks on this for example, oh, that's another thing. We should change the cursor on mouse hover. So I'm gonna write that down. Change the cursor on mouse hover. So when you hover over this, change cursor to one of these things. That you can change it to like this arrow looking thing. That should be an issue. Without the cookies, who says there's no cookies? You never know. Some powerful cookies out here. Mighty powerful. All right, let me follow along with what he's doing. So we're getting the X value of the cursor, and we're doing a linear interpolation to get the actual value of that position in the graph for the X value. and that's the new value. So as we drag the 4 to the left, the new value is going to be 3.9, 3.8, 3.7, etc. It's the cake. The cake is a lie. My kids know what that means. So we have the new value of basically wherever the mouse is being dragged. And then we have to decide which value is this. Is this value A or value B? That's what David's doing right now. So we've got the new value. I was trying to get the key basically to tell me is key would be value A or value B, which is the name of the state. I was trying to get it from the text element that this refers to in this drag, because apparently this is the element that we're dragging over. And David, this E doesn't even exist, so I don't think you need to have it. There is no event that gets passed into this function, apparently. I'm also gonna change this. So the problem is we're not finding a consistent way to identify the thing being dragged. And it should be simple because this is the text element and I can see that there's an ID on it. But every time I try and get to it in the code, there's a failure, and I don't understand why. If I do .id, even though I can see that property in the debugger when I'm inspecting it, the code fails, and I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. I blame React. Can I blame React? This is not the event. It's the target, right? Actual this. I thought this is the target of the drag. If you inspect it in the console, it's the text element that it's this text element. This one right here on 247, or the label A or the label B or whatever. I hope this is supposed to be B. So we're super close. We're super close to nailing this down. On your machine, it says it's the encoder. Hold on. Watch this. Let's debug this. Screw all this stuff. There's no E here. Console log this. What happens? What do you get to your log when you drag? I get a text element. It's the text element being dragged. If I do number 5, I get the number 5 text element. I should be able to say .id on this thing. Like that. And I do, look, it works. That's it. But I tried doing this earlier. Okay, hold on. This is that's not, whoops. So the key is this .id. The new state is an object with that key and the new value. This should work. I don't know why this wouldn't work. Okay. If we use value A or value B for ID, then we can just use that as the... Yeah, that's what use that as the onUpdate method. What do you mean? Oh, I forgot you did that. Where's the onDrag function? If we use value A, I'm not following you. Hold on a second, because it seems like this is this is where I want to let me do something real quick. Because it seems like this should be working. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, sorry, dense, I was dense. I didn't want him to be that, but now we might as well. Value A, value B. That's what you're trying to get me to do, right? And then it'll just work. That's right, and then it'll just work. Woohoo, okay. All right, that's great, that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna create a couple bugs in Trello real quick. Where are we? Building HTML systems. All right, we're creating the continuous overlap diagram. I'm gonna create one for Graham. Overlap diagram, change cursor on value hover. And I think if it's easy to do this, I'll just go like this. I don't know if that worked. Close enough. Change the size. It's always good to add graphics to things. So hopefully I can just drag this. Okay, this is UI diagram help wanted. Okay, so there's an issue. Got a picture with it. Select a coder diagram height. I don't have a picture with that, but I don't think you need one for that one. Yeah, great teamwork, everybody. The cow sound. The cow, I don't know why we're doing the cow sound. I added it, so I guess it's my fault. I might as well use it. The nerd. I don't have a nerd sound. I could totally get that guy's voice. Nerds. Teamwork. Go teamwork. At least I didn't have to hit the yak shaving button. The nerd sound is this. Oh, I can't watch the whole thing. That was a great movie. I can't watch it. Okay, so there was another bug. I replaced all those lines with a single line. Oh yeah, that's fine. All those lines with a single line. That works for me. Hold on, me props on update. So this is, oh, this is Harmony magic, huh? This is what I always wished you could do in JavaScript. That's why I created the empty map first and then added to it. You can't do this in Python either, which is unfortunate. Maybe you can in Python 3. No, that works fine. I would like to, let's do this. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. That looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna create another little issue just for this bit. The labels aren't quite centered, and this is, and we'll fix the resolution too. Let's do that. The precision. Am I doing this somewhere else? Yeah. So we're the precision round. I think that's the amount of decimal points. So let's do that when we set the value so that we're not setting it to the super long. Whatever's calling draw bracket should do that. Draw brackets. Or whatever's setting value A, value B it would be this. It would be this right here. So it would be this. Precision round. Value 1. It's close enough. Now this should, yeah. That works for me. Okay. Harmony magic is the technical term, yeah. I am going to break this open a little. How did you, oh, this just shows me your highlight, okay. All right. The other thing I wanted to do was, what happened to my music? I think the Mellow Beats is over. I think we went through the whole playlist. I'm gonna go back to nighttime lo-fi, I guess. Oh, unless my wife took it, she might have. No. Okay, let's shuffle. Okay, there's one in here, right here, called Fixed Range Bezier Curve Display Bug. I'm going to link to this one. I'm going to create another one. Because there's one that's similar to this that I want to add. Okay. And it's in the continuous overlap diagram. Value labels should be centered. And related to that one. And let's give it a picture because it's always best to have a picture. Whoops. I want to say, talking about this and that. I think that's pretty obvious, isn't it? Those are not centered. Always better to have an image. Okay. So where we're at now is we can change these values by dragging, which was exactly what I wanted to do. And it's a lot smoother when you don't have the console open. Smooth enough for me anyway. The Bezier curves are a little bit wonky, but it's not a huge deal. Drop the music a little, I can do that. How's that? Is that any better? The other values, the N and W, they should affect it, but I don't have, here, let's test those out real quick. I'll just test them out by dropping them in. They're so easy to drop in. Just drop one in here. Parameter N, parameter W. So easy. That is, I mean, that's quite nice. Oh, that's not doing it. Oh, I don't think I hooked those up, did I? No, I didn't. I gave it specific. So what if I do this? W and yeah, so that works. I just want to make sure that does work as expected, and it does. So it might be interesting just to keep them attached. I mean, it would still totally work. I don't know. I haven't decided, but it's good to know that I can go back and forth that easily. For right now, I'm not going to bother with letting them change those parameters. Or, I don't know, maybe I should. I mean, I do here. Maybe I should. Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it. Let them be able to change the parameters. It's changing on your Chrome as I update. That's amazing. That's amazing. I can't believe that. Okay. Changing the values of W and N. Look, that's where I'll put these. Changing the values of W and N. N. Bloop. And this. And that's how we'll have the interaction. Right there. Which is perfect. W and N. This is cool. I like this. I like this. This is much simpler. We can make this smaller now. So let's change the size of this. Where are we defining the size? That's a good question. I bet it's in the, is it in the SVG? We're not, I don't think. How are we defining the size of this SVG? We have a width, but there's no size. So let's give it a size. Height. 200. I have to put pixels. Or can I do this? It might work either way. 100 pixels. Okay, great. So let's try just 100 and see if that works. That's even better. Yes, great. So, I mean, that's it. That's it. That's great. I love it. It's super simple. I don't have to worry about any of those scalar things. I am sharing an instance, but you have to have VS Code running, and right, don't you, David? You have to have VS Code running because it's a VS Code extension. I can share the server, and somehow it worked. David could see it anyway. So this is really great. I'm super happy with this. That's it. All right, let's push. Let's push. We're still racking up some of these small issues. I can push a link. Okay, first of all, let me call Terry, because before I do this, I have to pay my Heroku account. Somehow, I think we changed a credit card or something for recurring payments to Heroku. So bear with me here. You guys watch out the window. I'm gonna call Terry and see if I can get. I'm gonna see if I can get. You know what I just said. I'll be right back. Okay, I was sort of wrong. It's true that our billing information somehow got messed up, but I don't think that's why, because I don't think we're paying for this one, unless maybe yeah, I don't think we're paying for anything. Yeah, I don't have anything going on here. So for a deployment, I'm getting an error when I go to this, when I open the application. You should be able to see the application here. But you can't. So when I run Heroku, I thought I had this all set up. Heroku, manage local Git repository. Heroku Git. Okay. Oh, I don't have a Heroku for this. Okay, so let me just follow the instructions. I should be able to deploy from Git Heroku login, which I've already done. Heroku Git clone, I already have. Or do I have to do this? Probably should. Should probably update Heroku, huh? See, what? It's cloning into another repository. That's not what I wanted at all. That's not what I wanted at all. Cancel. I want to add the clone. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that because I want to see exactly the remote that it creates, because all I really need to do is get a remote. Yeah, it's going to error no matter who loads it. Something's wrong with it. So I'm just going to pop in and look at the remote it creates, copy it, and then remove it and pop back down and create that one on my local remote. Here it is. I should have known. Whoops. Git remote, add Heroku, right there. Git fetch Heroku. I don't think I need to do that. So if I push to Heroku at this point, it should deploy. And it should detect what kind of app it is too, and run npm dev build. All right, so let's do a quick review, code review, before we push this, and then I'll push it. Okay, you guys can check it out for me. Okay, output cells margin top, change that cell height top gutter we're not using. I might as well remove it. Here, I moved cell height, draw brackets, draw A, draw B. And then the drag event, and then draw a bracket. Okay, I don't need this for sure. Manual height, these are all of the extra elements that I needed. That looks good to me. Coding numbers, all we did was made this stateful, parent stateful, and updated this to be even simpler than I had it. Close values. I messed with some of this content, added some things. Okay, that's fine though. This all looks good to me. Okay, completed. Continuous, I don't know, what did I call it? Scalar overlap diagram. Okay, now I just need to git push, let's do the status, git pull upstream master. I always like to pull from upstream master. As soon as I push, git push Heroku master, Heroku logs tail so I can watch it deploy. So we'll see if it works real soon. Real soon. We'll see if this works. I don't know why it stopped working. There's a continuous integration process that was doing this, and it stopped working, and the logs say app crashed. What does my command line say? Oh, rejected. So force. I don't care if you're rejecting. Can you just force it? I want to see what's wrong. Something's happening now. That's a good sign. Node.js app detected. It should see that there is a build job and run it. It looks like it is. This is a good sign. I'm not sure why the CI broke, but I can look into that too. It says it's fine. Added scalar overlap diagram. I thought there was something in here that was deploying to Heroku, but perhaps not. I'm not sure. So build started, compressing. There's a lot going on. We should see some updates on this screen soon. There we go. Ready, it says it's ready. You guys got it working yet? It always takes a while for the first time. It's still waiting. Logs. It says it's ready on local host, so maybe that's the problem. That may be the problem. Yeah, there's something wrong still. So let me see. There should be a. I'm going to reveal my variables off here. There are none. So Heroku should have oh, what crap! It's not working. I lost my dashboard. There it is. So in my code, there should be a variable somewhere that tells me, or there should be some configuration somewhere. I'm not sure. I've done so many of these types of applications that tells me if you're in production, you check an environment variable. If it's production, you use this base URL. If it's not, you use another base URL. This sounds like this would be in. This is what's supposed to deploy to Travis. I didn't do this, somebody else did. Let's see if there's anything in the logs. All it says is app crashed. Starting to crashed. Boot timeout. Waiting to bind to port. Okay, so this happens. So I'm just not serving up the application to Heroku properly. And I didn't think This has happened to me before. I know it shouldn't be running npm start. I think that's the problem. It shouldn't be running npm start. Okay. Heroku Next.js. This should be super easy. Deploy Next.js app on Heroku. Yada 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 yada. That's so in package.json, I know Heroku reads package.json, so maybe I need this build or start with the port post build. Let's try some of this stuff. We're sort of beyond the official things I wanted to do here. Build, next build, that's there. Start build on a specific port, which I didn't need before, but maybe I should, because I know Heroku specifies a port. Okay. And this post build, I don't know why I really don't know why I'd need to do that. Well, if you guys wanted to see this, I was just trying to get this running so you guys could play with it because you asked to play with it. So, but yeah, I could totally do this offline. This is not important. And in fact, I might as well. I'm going to push one more, see if that fixed it, which it probably didn't. We'll find out real quick. Heroku. Now I won't do this. I'm almost done with this stream, honestly. I'm not going to go for too much longer. I'm happy with what we got done, so I'll do a quick review of what we got done today and probably wrap it up. Okay, so but first I'm going to push this and just see if it works. If it works, I'll push it to master. Yeah, the day's totally a win. I'm happy. So we went from, we got this was pretty much already working, and we got one more diagram, I would say complete, and I would call this complete. I like the way this is working right now. Pretty happy with it. There's some tweaks that can be made. So the next one is going to be this discrete encoding. So I think we can do the same thing. I want to be able to drag it, but it's going to snap to one of these encodings, so it won't be continuous. So the W, this might keep a local state entirely. I don't know, because as you can see, the more categories you make, it affects sort of the min and max of the value. Well, not the min and the max. Yeah, the max. This is a little tricky, but we'll figure it out. So that's going to be the next one. I'd like to maybe do this without the sliders too. I definitely want to be able to click and drag it. I think that worked really well. So that'll be the next one, a discrete encoder sort of. Okay, so let's check in on our Heroku here. It says it's ready. Oh, and it went to another port. Okay, that's a good sign. It worked. How about that, you guys? It worked. So the one we just did, which you guys should be able to all play around with, here's our cyclic encoder, the transition. Look how it even reflects its state while it's moving from state to state. Isn't that nice? I love that. So now this click and drag works. You can change the size of the W and the N here. That's kind of odd. That's kind of odd. Well, it's not too bad. That's not too bad. All right, but yeah, that's what we did, folks. Hooray for everybody. I'm gonna call today a win. Thanks everybody for joining the stream today. It's kind of a chill stream, but we got some stuff done. Split it up in half. I am going to keep going tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll keep moving on with stuff on Trello here. But I'm gonna leave the little stuff. I'm leaving a bunch of little issues in my wake, and we're gonna work on the discrete encoding tomorrow. We'll make a whole new diagram, and we're just gonna keep going. And let's see where we're at. After the discrete encoding, we can move on to encoding categories. Woo! So then we've got category encoder examples, and those are sort of a different type of encoder diagram. This is pretty easy. This wasn't very hard. So there's one there, and then there's this one, which is the cyclic category encoder, which needs a little bit of work. And those are the only two category encoders, and then these are some of the fun ones. Encoding time. This is a little bit misleading. It's a little bit misleading because the yellow is supposed to mean light. I should make them dark. Anyway. But I like these. I hope this gives a good sense of why we encode like this. Why you can use no DST. No DST. No. Words will be really fun once we get to that point, but I want to get to spatial pooling. Then we got to do the combined encoding. So I want to do one big encoding. So we're making progress. We're almost past the numbers. We're almost done with numbers. Once we get out of numbers, it'll be great. So here's where we are. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you later. I'm going to roll these credits, but there's not going to be anything in them. I just want to see if they work. They're centered this time, at least. Thanks for... I resubbed him. Okay. Hey, Falco. I didn't catch you earlier. I'll catch you right now. Hold on a sec. I was gifting out some subs earlier. You've been on here long enough. You deserve a subscription. This is a gift from Numenta, not me, by the way. I mean, as soon as I create an expense report, you won't have to watch ads. There you go. You got it anyway. Sorry. You don't have to watch ads, and you get to use those emoji, the emote, the brain emoji, right? Isn't that like the perk? So, see you guys later. I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna go hang out with family. Take care. See you tomorrow.